Welcome back to the grind for another Cosmic Eclipse side quest guide. This one we're going to go over the Venom Pool boss, and this is the one that gives gold as the rewards. Now, this path has Resistor, and the boss has Steady Perseverance, Mystic, Conditioning, Polka Dot Power, and Buffet. So he's going to be healing a lot whenever you trigger buffs, and you're not going to gain power unless you have a damage over time debuff on him, and other things we'll have to worry about that we'll talk about when we get to that fight. The first two fights on this path are pretty straightforward. The defenders are not that bad, but they do have Resistor as well and return policy. So if you nullify those debuffs or stagger them or remove them or prevent them from triggering in any way, they're going to get 40% a bar of power per buff that you prevent or remove. So you ideally don't want to bring in Nullify Champion for these fights because they're going to gain a ton of power very quick and easily. I did bring in Spider-Ham because he's my most recent rank 2, so I was excited to test him out, and he does okay on this fight. It does take a little while to ramp up the damage, and then we ended up going for a special 3, and then we kind of sped things along with that. But we're building up our Porker Popper charges right now. He's a fun champion to play, and he has some really good damage as well. So here we're throwing off our special 3, and then boom, 77,000 roughly burst damage from those power stings. So that was a lot of damage, and then we just cleaned up the fight a little bit. But the main thing that we're going to have to worry about on this path is the boss. Because of that regen from the buffs that you trigger, it's a lot of health returned, and I wanted to try Spider-Ham against him to build up the damage, but we don't have any ability to gain power because of Polka Dot Power. I don't put any damage over time debuffs with Spider-Ham, so I wasn't able to utilize my special 1, 2, or 3, and the special 3 is the one you ideally would want to be able to trigger for some massive damage. So we also brought Archangel, which is pretty much the answer to all the fights in this side quest, but Aegon was an easy champion for anyone, but because the first fight took so long with Spider-Ham, I decided to just take down Aegon with Archangel. And we're going to speed along quite a bit because you get the picture, parry heavy and don't get hit, and you melt him down pretty quick and easy in a limited number of hits. I did make a mistake and got hit a little bit there, but we didn't take too much health loss. And now we're going into this fight against Venom Pool, and you're going to see that every time we hit him, he gets a physical resist, and he still takes decent damage from the power stings, but the problem is the next time you trigger a buff, he heals back right to full because he heals a ton of health back. And even if you chain on a good combination and you get some hits in, take down, about 10% or so, as soon as you trigger that heal, he's back to full. And so you really want somebody who can manage his regen or turn it off completely like Archangel. The other thing is, now that he throws a special attack, he goes unstunnable for a long time. And so you can't stun him or parry him, and Spider-Ham prefers to attack into a stunned opponent because you have more chance of building up those power stings. So that's a downside as well. And you may have noticed that the crits are dealing decent damage, but the non-crit hits are doing basically no damage at all. So when you bring in your counter, ideally you want somebody who can either bypass the resist, like with True Strike or True Accuracy, or has lots of crits or easy access to crits, so you can deal lots of damage with your crits. Now you'll see with Archangel, once we get going, we pretty much ignore all the issues with the fight. We don't have to worry about the resistor because the damage is mostly coming from neurotoxins, and when we crit, we do still do decent damage with our basic hits, but we also don't have to worry about him getting health back because with parry heavy champions, you're not often having to dex that frequently. You're doing a parry and then using your heavy attack, and it creates distance so that you're ready for the next parry. Also, we don't have to worry about him going stun immune after he throws special attacks because our neurotoxins with an awakened Archangel are turning off that ability accuracy. So we're able to bypass that as well. And we're also able to bypass the regen if we do happen to trigger a buff because of that ability accuracy reduction. So Archangel is by far the best choice in my opinion for this fight. There's going to be a lot of other options that you can just choose to deal with the regen, but then you'll have trouble with damage, or you can try to not just play around the regen and have a champion that just does a ton of damage. Parry heavy champion like Hyperion might be a good option, and he also has incinerates on a special 1, so if you have despair, you can decrease the regen as well. Or you can try bringing a heal reversal champion and throw off that heal reversal and then trigger the regen by dexing and, you know, causing him to heal, and that would maybe help you take down some health, but you'd have to have pretty easy access to that heal reversal. So I do hope this video was helpful. Let me know what champions you used in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in the next video.